We definitely do communicate on many more levels than just verbal communication. There's so much there if you tap into it and really trust your intuition. I don't know. I feel we've talked about this in a past episode about how intuition versus reason, or irrationality versus rationality, those kinds of softer skills have been devalued, but there really is something there, and there is kind of ancient wisdom in that if you listen to those things, that those sensors that are being triggered on like a really deep seated biological level.
100%. The gut, people say, my gut told me this or that. Now we know that there are 500 million neurons located in the gut. And so your gut instinct is a real thing. And what we know, this is new science. We don't know a ton yet, but what I've been able to find is that your gut, when you meet a human being, your gut compares them to every other person you've met in your entire life.
Wow.
And it lumps them. And so it puts them here or here. And you're given that instinct for a reason, right? And so we've got to trust those things. It's not hocus pocus, it's real science, but we just need to learn it and tap into it.
Yeah, and start to empower people to
Yes.
actually learn how to connect, because Jay and I are big believers, and it sounds like you are too, in the larger collective, and that we have a
Yes.
shared experience. And there's something around this idea that we don't empower people enough, in my opinion, from what I've seen, to connect with people. There's this element of, like, in organizations, I don't know why it feels like there's a block in terms of really connecting with people. Have you been able to think about that or try to crack that? Why can't
Yes.
people in the corporate world be more authentic with each other?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's so valid. And and I have cracked it for organizations that are forward thinking and bring me in. And so it's the model that, and I call it the three brain, one mind model. Okay. Cranial brain, 86 billion neurons. Everybody knows about that one. Heart brain, 40,000 neurons. We're starting to understand it. Gut brain, 500 million neurons. So literally, we're a superorganism with three brains, but the three brains make up one mind.
Hmm.
Okay. So now, if I want to connect with you, I need to line those three brains up. Then guess what? You make up your mind that, hey, I trust Dr. Charlie. I feel good, comfortable with Dr. Charlie. But if you are in conflict, you're like, I just can't make up that my mind, then that means one of those three minds are not convinced, at least, right? And so it doesn't make sense, right? That's left, that's left brain. Doesn't make sense. It's got to make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then right brain, it's got to be interesting. Then heart brain, my heart's not in it. You've heard people say it, my heart's just not in it. I don't feel it. And then gut, I'm comparing this to every other experience I've had in my life, and it lines up. We line those three up, we've got a true connection with another human being.